Alright guys, it's William Jamming here. So we have take a brief tour of the Unity. So let's play around with the game objects. So we have created a sprite called William JM, and then you can play. We can create a lot of objects. So for example, you can right click to the object, remember, and the sprite we can get a say square. I think square is pretty good. Okay, and if you want to move that first, of course you can name it, because that's what a good practice to do, because the game object can get a lot of game object inside the same thing, and you can get pretty messy pretty quickly. So so my suggestion for you is that you need to name it as a good practice. So ground, okay. Did I spell it correct? Because I'm not a native speaker and I just have a pretty terrible spelling. So let's try your ground. Did I spell it correct? Yeah, good. Okay, sorry, same mistake, silly mistake. I make all the time. So if I misspell something, do leave a comment. Okay. So the ground. Okay. So if you choose that, if you want to move it, you can use the shortcut, which is W, and you can see the shortcut here, and you can see this two arrow here, and what I'm going to do is to move it down to here, because it's ground. I'm going to make it ground line, make it floor something, and of course you can see that the position something like that, and of course you can click it and drag. This will give you a precise way to change it and give you the precise number of it, and of course you can just input a certain number, say -5, something like that. Or if you want more fine-tuned changes, you can just click it and just drag it down. Okay, so if you hover your mouse here, you should see two arrow here, and click it and drag left and right to fine-tune the changes, right? And of course you can change the scale of it, and if you want to change the scale of it, you can just hold any of it and use that to change the scale of it. So the y-axis is just a green arrow here. So what I'm going to do is to maybe change this x-axis to make it more ground-like. Remember that I think the I already told you that 2D is much simpler than 3D, at least in the beginning level, is that you don't need to worry about this Z, okay? You don't need to worry about it. If you change it, it won't show a thing, okay? Because you don't need to worry about that. But you need to worry about the layer, the which of the objects is show as the front and which is show at the lower layer, at the behind. We will talk about that in another video. And pretty good. So this is the ground, and of course remember we got the inspector here, and because it's sprint render, we can change the render option to make it more realistic. So cool. So if you guys can see, there's a color here, and rendering color of a sprint graphic. So you actually can choose the color. You customize this ground. I think ground is more like a color like that. Okay, this is more like ground color. Maybe something like this. Okay. So so you can choose the ground color, and of course you can change this this guy's stickman's color within JM. Okay, let me move it a little bit. So W, remember, so it just move to the left, maybe to the right. Okay, and of course you can just make a stickman. I still remember that when I doing the game development, I think Flash, that technology is pretty hot. So we use a Flash to do all sort of a silly stickman game and animation. It's a great time. So for old time reasons, let's just make a stickman. Okay, so right click, you can just choose 2D object sprite, and you can use not circle. I think we got enough circle of it. So let's get a square and body, and of course you can just click and drag it, get it inside the William JM. So if you choose the William JM and you move it, it sort of just move together, so it just become a part. So this is sort of like the subset of this William JM, and of course you can sort of organize it. But for now, let me just and of course you can create an empty to hold everything. So you can get empty and say we got William JM, and you can put William JM's head. So for example, I name it head, and we can name that body, and you can just drag everything inside of a William JM. Okay, so when you just choose William JM, you can move the head and body at the same time. So let's move the body to just to practice that. So let me just make a stick man, and just move it down. I think this is just too much. Okay, and move it here, make it more stickman like. Yeah, and here is another shortcut, which is D for duplicate. So you can use Command and D to duplicate things. So if I already got the body part, and what I can do is just choose the body and duplicate it. Okay, so I got this body and Command D duplicate it, because I already duplicated it, and it sort of overlaps and you can't see it, but if you move it out you can see it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to make a hand. So hand is a little bit shorter, and okay, and of course I like to make two. So sorry, I think my mouse just my mouse just out of battery. Sorry guys, it's just got a charge for a few seconds. I don't know how long it can last. So yeah, let's just finger crossed. Okay, so I just get it a little slider, and of course you can rename it. Rename this hand, and maybe hand 1, okay, and hand 2. So after you have done that, you can Command D to duplicate it, to quickly move it here, and of course you can always rename it, say hand 2. Okay, and of course the hand can't just be like this. You need to sort of rotate a little bit. A quick way to rotate is to press E. It's another shortcut, and once you have done that, you can just click it and drag it to rotate it. And of course, if you look at here, the Z, the number behind it, just got changed. Okay, so you sort of can fine-tune it by click here and drag to get a smooth change. And of course you can just input a certain number, for example -45. Okay, and enter. Of course you can use W to change that. All right, and we can go here, just place like this. Okay, and of course you can use the same method, so we can just input a certain thing, for example 45, just drag it here. Alright, so here's our stickman, and of course we can use the same methods to quickly create 2 squares, and it will be leg, and of course leg 1, leg 2. Let me just make 1 first, and then maybe make it like this. Make it, scale it up a little bit. Yeah, maybe like this. Okay, and then of course duplicate it, because I've already chosen that. D to duplicate it, and you can rename it leg 2, and this would be leg 1. And of course we need to choose everything, just drag it inside within JM, and you can just move one of the legs outside. Okay, and of course you can rotate it a little bit. I'm not going to do that because yeah, you already know how to do that. Just press E for shortcut. And then because it's all inside of the empty object within JM, so after you have choose within JM, you can just move it. You can move it up, move it left. Okay, and of course because all this thing got the position of the right side, and if you choose within JM, you got a position here. So here is another problem which I'm going to explain it in a specific video. Okay, so yeah, for now you don't need to worry about it, as long as you can get your stickman. Yeah, it's a good start. Okay, so yeah, you can pause this video and you can make your stickman standing on the ground yourself. Don't need to worry about all sort of things. For example, if you yeah, I know that when you doing things you will notice a lot of problem, but if you continue to watch this bootcamp, I will explain them. So for example, if you rotate it and you want to move the position, you press W and hold this coordinate system just changed sort of to that local coordinate system, and yeah, you just play around with it, and you will notice that this is a little bit inconvenient. So I'm going to share with you how to solve this problem in the next video. Okay, bye bye.